Welcome to Talitarka, Gorky.
Thank you very much.
We are, of course, talking about Suvreen Guggal. So, congratulations on yet another project coming to fruition. The launch is, of course, on the 19th.
Yes.
Now, tell us about Suvreen Guggal, the concept that made you want to do a project such as Suvreen Guggal.
See, the thing was that Channel V, having experimented with fiction, they wanted to do something more, and they wanted to move into a more how should you say more realistic zone. So they were looking for something, and they asked us whether we have something. So we were racking our brains, and in the meanwhile Nisar met Shakti, who's an old acquaintance of his. He used to produce Lucky, which Nisar used to direct, so
Okay.
very old acquaintances and friends. So he met them somewhere, I think it was a bar, and so they said that they have something like that, and that's how it happened. So they came and narrated the concept to us, and it was quite close to what Channel V was looking at. So we thought that let's pitch it together and let's see what comes out of it. So we worked on it a bit, we tweaked it, and we pitched it to them, and they quite liked it. So that's how it all started.
Right. Now, the character Suvreen Guggal,
Yeah.
why that name?
That name is actually, it was, the show was, tentatively, when they had originally thought of the show, they had called it Youngistan, and I think that was the name that was leaked out initially on the blogs and the websites. But then again, we weren't very sure whether, the strong association with Pepsi and all of that.
So true. I always think of Ranbir Kapoor.
Yeah, exactly. So we were thinking of a name, and we were, kind of looking at something very contemporary, and of course, so apart from a lot of things, we thought that, if it needs to be character based, so either, you have shows which have been traditionally named after the main protagonist.
Right.
Geet being one example, of course, and so amongst many others.
All right.
So we thought that we'll give her a quirky name, and we again sat down, and I think we were banging our heads for about almost 3 days before we thought we'd do something to do, because this girl seems to have the answer for everything. So we thought we'd twist it around, and so that's how the name came to be. And the Suvreen bit, that was already her name, because so it rhymed pretty well, Suvreen Guggal. So we said, okay, we'll go with this, and we pitched it to the channel. They liked it.
Right.
So,
Now, one question would arise is Suvreen Guggal is the name of the character,
yeah.
and the show is based on that name. So would it give, like, how the other GCs would have, where you have a central character, be it like Geet, the story of Geet. So would it seem that it is a story of this particular girl, or are you looking at like how Youngistan would probably talk about the young generation, whereas Suvreen Guggal might get categorized into this one girl's story?
See, it's always a question of, you have to pick up somebody to tell your story through.
True.
So that person becomes a representative of the circumstances or whatever of an entire set of people going through that particular thing in society. So, like for example, if you, as you mentioned, Geet, when he first started, it was not a story of Geet. Actually, she was a representative of all the women who had been, married to NRIs and got dumped by them. So therefore, Suvreen is only a representative of all the problems that the youth face today. Vis-a-vis trying to do a tightrope act between balancing college life, their friends, boyfriends, Facebook, and their parents. Yeah. So she's merely a representative.
Right. Great. Now, looking at the show, what are your expectations, if any?
A lot of expectations, absolutely. And we just hope that people can identify with it. People can, because it has been designed that way. It's been how should we say? It's been tailored quite a lot to what the channel's research and marketing team had to tell us from the feedback that they had with various interactions across the country, youngsters across the country, that these are the problems that they face. So we have tried to incorporate them.
Right.
And hopefully we feel that they will strike a chord somewhere with the youth today.
Right.
And hopefully we will become a huge hit.
Right. Would by any chance, I mean, we've read stories, especially around the examination times, the suicides or that young kids, they take that drastic step.
Right.
Would that kind of issue be addressed in Suvreen Guggal?
I would really hope so. I'm hoping to address all these issues. I mean, we have a really, strong desire to address all these issues, all the serious ones, but hopefully in a light-hearted manner and in small doses, because otherwise
it will be too heavy.
Yeah, the show tends to become too heavy, too dark, too preachy. So keeping all that in mind, we'll give it in small doses, see how people react to it.
Right.
And let's see how it goes.
One of the, of course, the promos talks about the cutoff point and the passing mark discrepancy, or the divide or the gap, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So that's of course the issue I already see that's going to be raised and probably talked about.
Yeah.
Any other issues within the college premise that you're looking at addressing? Be it politics or...
Yes, definitely. Because again, as I said, that we tend to overlook a lot of things in terms of when you're trying to entertain. But I think that the two need not be very exclusive to each other. You can entertain while addressing strong issues. I mean, we have had great examples in a few Hollywood films like the Dead Poets Society, or even our very own Three Idiots and Munna.
Right.
They addressed very, very, very strong issues, and they were entertaining.
Very true.
So taking a cue from that, that it can be done. So we will try and show as many issues as possible.
Right, great. We hope you have a successful run with this show like your other shows.
Yes.
And I'm sure people will watch it from 19th of March at 6:30 and 8
and 8 p.m.
on Channel V.
Yeah,
Right, thank you so much, Gorky.